being unemployed, having a job. Super rich hate taxes. I am shocked. Super rich abandoning Norway at record rate as wealth tax rises slightly. A record number of super rich Norwegians are abandoning Norway for low-tax countries after the center-left government increased wealth taxes to 1.1%. Damn. I'm kinda tired of living inside a giant pyramid scheme controlled by criminals who gaslight us into believing they are the good guys. It's wild that unskilled labor is the labor that society literally collapses without. From the New York Times, I agree this would have sounded unbelievable years ago. Are we actually arguing about whether 14-year-olds should work in meatpacking plants? Jesus Christ. The biggest price gouger ever could definitely pay more than $18. Today, thousands of Disney World workers voted to approve a new contract, delivering an $18 minimum wage this year and raises across the board, plus 8 weeks of paid family leave. And it will continue to cost us billions until corporations understand it. I have an escape door. Younger workers say they need more than a good salary to give their loyalty, flexibility, and service, and it's already costing the US economy billions. Good. Boss didn't hire new employee because of their hobbies outside of work. The title really says it all. We interviewed a candidate today for a position, and my boss says she's not a good fit for the company since she likes to game outside of work. My boss states that he wants a well-rounded person and doesn't want someone who plays games when they go home for the day. I don't know, seems kind of messed up to me. What someone does with their free time has no business being discussed or judged in the workplace. Yeah, everyone goes home after work and has something to unwind with. That's so stupid. Sorry, you need to work. I won't be showing up. I'm sick. I gave as much notice as I possibly could. Sorry, as I said there is no one to cover shift. That's not my problem. I will not be showing up. I'm sick and I gave notice when I could. No, Rachel, it's your job. You need to work. See you at 2. No, the won't. They're sick. Dumbass. I grow coffee. I refine coffee. I package coffee. I brew coffee. I literally collect money for doing nothing. Let's just scribble it out. Hiring today. Competitive wages and tips. Cool. Career growth opportunities. Cool. Fun work environment. Cool. Flexible schedules. Cool. Refer a friend bonuses. Awesome. A weekly direct deposit. Neat. Paid I didn't see paid vacation. This needs to happen everywhere. Normalize letting people eat their lunch alone if they want and decompressing for 30 minutes to an hour without the pressure of being considered antisocial in the workplace. Little Boss Man is mad he makes the schedule 5 hours before the start day. Employees were approved their time off over a month ago, but it's a problem now because management forgot. From now on, no one can request days off anymore. I will do the schedule. If you don't show up, you are automatically fired. If you don't like it, go find a job somewhere else. Mandatory meeting on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Cool. A man has applied to the job advertisement, welder $15 to $30 an hour. During the welding test, he made 2 test welds shown on the pictures. The potential boss asked what is going on. The man replies, the upper one is $15 an hour, the lower one is $30 an hour. Which one looks better to you? The retirement age is 67. Your life expectancy is 78. Work for 50 years to be free for 11? Does that sound like a fair deal? No. This is what 56 hours nets you at $8 an hour. Employer is exempt from overtime as a movie theater. Yeesh. That is, it's a decent amount of money, but could have been a lot more if he was getting paid overtime. That's so bullshit, man. Memo to the media. Please don't say inflation is at a 40-year high without also mentioning that corporate profits are at a 70-year high. Give the people the full picture. A coworker's last day was Friday. He didn't retire, just decided to take a month off and find another job after. I should record the morning meeting and send it to you so you don't feel left out. Please do. Well, we got tacos at least. My dad says raising the minimum wage is actually bad for his employees. Yeah, they'll look the part. Micromanaging boss wants to weaponize CCing HR, so I'm weaponizing state labor laws. Good morning. According to the blank State Department of Labor and Industries, I am required to submit a doctor's note for absences meeting or exceeding 3 consecutive days. However, according to Absence Tracker, only 2 of my absences were due to illness. As of March 30th was a pre-approved personal holiday. As such, I will not be providing a doctor's note for those days. Thank you for all that you do. Blank. Is the remote work really working? I'm not so sure. Where were you zooming from yesterday when you were on CNBC? I am wondering where he is as well. We will make a better world for our children. We will make a better world for our children. Entitled brats. My old company wants to sue me for not providing password information 4 years after they fired me. I was the manager of a network engineering team for a medium-large sized for 20 years and was terminated in 2019. We had various passwords for routers depending on line of business the routers belonged to. My team had the administrative passwords stored in a secure electronic password vault. Fast forward to last week when something got into the routers and locked everyone out. Now they need the admin passwords, but apparently the vault was taken offline and removed 2 years ago. Apparently half their business is at a standstill and they can't make payroll until this is fixed. They called me demanding the passwords, and when I couldn't produce them, they wanted to sue me. What a bunch of holes. First they fired me and want to sue me 4 years later. Laughable. Only in America. How does this stupid thing work? First you scan the barcode, but it doesn't scan. Huh, that's weird. Why do I have to do this? It's about convenience. How is this convenient? The store is conveniently saving money on staff. This is what happens when people can't afford to get married the traditional way. David's Bridal laying off over 9,000 workers. Holy shit. Did this boomer era motivational speaker stuff ever actually work? Certainly doesn't seem to now. If you do more than you are paid to do, eventually you will get paid more for what you do. No, I don't want to eventually be paid for my work. I'd rather be paid when I'm doing the work. Such a change. Let's see, back in 2009, the minimum wage was $7.25, and a place to live would cost you about $690 a month. 2023, same minimum wage, but it's $1,100 a month. Cool. I'm going to be fired on Monday. I run a small bar in Michigan. I run said bar in everything except pay, lol. I have a general manager who works on average 10 hours per week. I have an owner who I've never seen do a single thing other than drink Busch Light by the gallon. The tips are even good enough that I don't complain about being paid $6 an hour. I now find out we are closed Monday and Tuesday for spring cleaning by the staff for $6 an hour for 10 hours for 2 days. Myself and the other night bartender have said absolutely not, and we have been told we will be terminated if we do not show. On the bright side, this has given me a week to job hunt, and boys, there are a lot of opportunities out there right now. I've already had 2 interviews and have another 2 tomorrow, one of them during the hours I am scheduled to work. Wouldn't you know it, I think I feel a cold coming on. How it feels to be alive lately. Existing. That'll be $70. Okay. Cassidy, read that again, but slowly. Hi Cindy, I see on your availability that you aren't available until 8:30. For this Friday, could you be here at 7:30? Well, no, because you just said that they're not available until 8:30. Why would they be there at 7:30? Millennials say it's inappropriate to have a work wife, but most Gen Zers and boomers are cool with it, poll finds. A work wife? What is that? What? Millennials aged 25 to 34 years old largely disapprove of work marriages. Yeah, what is that? What is a work marriage? I've never heard of this until today. Of course no one wants to work. There's no reward for living in society anymore. Wow, you mean I can work 2 jobs where my bosses treat me like a machine and the customers treat me like a verbal punching bag so I can make rent in my overpriced suburban duplex and then never have free time ever again? Golly, Uncle Sam, I'm not sure I like your freedom very much. A huge study of 20 years of global wealth demolishes the myth of trickle-down and shows the rich are taking most of the gains for themselves. What? Millennials didn't kill the economy killed millennials. The American system has thrown them into debt, depressed their wages, kept them from buying homes, and then blamed them for everything. Yeah? If you work 40 hours a week and can't afford a 2-bedroom apartment, what the f*** is the point of working? Companies like Amazon and Walmart, who pay their employees dirt cheap wages while taking in billions in profits, deserve to have employee shortages. McDonald's last week asked corporate employees, who usually work from the office, at least 3 days a week to do the job from home. The plan was to lay off hundreds of employees, and the company preferred to deliver that news virtually. Cool. Universal Basic Income. UBI critics. If we give people money without conditions, people will stop working. UBI pilot. Turns out the UBI group worked more than the control group. UBI critics. Well, of course giving people more money works, but it costs too much. UBI pilot. Turns out the money spent on UBI reduced other costs greater than the UBI. UBI critics. Yeah, but people will stop working. But Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. We'll be 4 horsemen deep into the apocalypse and still going to work. Boss, why were you late? Me, a lake of fire swallowed the freeway. Boss, I feel like you're not considering how this affects the team. They told me hard work pays off, and here I am 2 years at this job making 50 cents over minimum, with no raise, no benefits, living paycheck to paycheck, working myself to the bone, literally, and going home tired and in pain every day. God, this makes me so angry and sad. French refuse collectors have now been on strike for 18 days after their government raised the pension age from 62 to 64. Whether you agree or not, they are going to let their government walk over them. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of garbage. Resigned my position at a job and got this email in response. Debt of labor said this was illegal. Now if they don't pay up soon, I'm owed double my wages. Know your rights. Per the terms outlined in the employee handbook, the following adjustments will be made from your final paycheck as you are within the probationary period and have been terminated. Paycheck will be issued at minimum wage, $10 per hour on your last paycheck. Paycheck withholdings, charge for background check, $60, charge for CCEI account, $15, charge for key fob if not returned, $10, charge for cell phone locker key if not returned, $50, total $135. Thanks. Employer sent communication that they would punish us if we had to take shelter from a tornado, even if only a few minutes. Okay, we work from home, normal office job. We have a severe weather warning in our area, Tornado Alley, yay, and we received communication today that if the sirens go off and we see a tornado or inclement weather and we need to take shelter for any reason, we will be punished. Even if it's only 10 minutes, any time away from our desk to seek shelter will be punished. Everyone is very upset, and because of this, work turned off allowing us to communicate with them about this issue. Is there anything that can be done? This feels illegal, and I did some research, but I really couldn't find much regarding this. I might be looking in the wrong places, though. Iowa, USA. Dude, I would say f them and just take shelter if you have to. How would they know, you know? Recruiter. At this job, you will get to work at a fast-paced environment. You will get to thrive under pressure, and you will be part of a dynamic team. Great, now that you've outlined the cons, what are the pros? Company owner decided to stop paying his drivers, so one of them parked their semi on the owner's Ferrari and just left it there. That's awesome. No one wants to work anymore because there is no reward. Half of us are living paycheck to paycheck, no saving for retirement, no saving for a house, straight up 2 paychecks away from living on the street. Due to rising temperatures, more workers are dying from heat than ever, so cities have mandated that construction workers get 10-minute water breaks every 4 hours. In response, Texas Republicans are now trying to pass a bill that bans mandatory water breaks. Shocker from Texas. Productivity paranoia needs to stop. A worker quitting a 6-figure job so she won't have to return to the office full-time says she's a victim of her boss's productivity paranoia. I don't need to be in an office to do my work. I'ma get fired, lol. Ladies and gents, this is starting as of today. I get it, we all forget every so often to clock in and out, but going forward, if you consistently forget, I will forget to pay you till the following payroll. To me, one of the most important things is clocking my time in and clocking my time out. I cannot make it any easier, just do it. I swear I'm not trying to be obtuse, but I'm in law school, so whatever. The withholding of wages for the reason of disciplinary action is illegal. There is no teacher shortage. There are thousands of qualified, experienced teachers who are no longer teaching. There's a shortage of respect and proper compensation for teachers, allowing them to actually teach. Why is it easier to believe that 150 million Americans are being lazy rather than 400 Americans are being greedy? Apparently, we also didn't need to wait for the housing market to crash. All we needed to do is work for it. Millennials are cheering for a housing market crash. Millennials are actually cheering for a housing market crash on Twitter so they can afford a home. It seems the very image of entitlement. No, I think people want to just be able to, I don't know, afford a place they can call their own without having to pay rent to landlords who are monsters. I might be looking too deep into it, though. Nobody wants to work anymore. Personally, I've never wanted to work. My old job closed down for good. This was one of the reviews. 1 out of 5 stars. Food is good, but the hygiene in this restaurant is really bad. Talked to some staff, and apparently owner treats staff very harshly. Response from the owner. Thank you for your feedback, but our restaurant is meat requirement hygiene certification given. When did you visit us? And from the camera, we haven't seen you talking to our staff, but you talk like you know our restaurant better than we do. You should get a job and do something else with your life than going around and commenting on people's business. We can file a case for you making a false statement. Thank you and have a good day, sir. Yeah, sounds very reputable and legitimate. When the rich rob the poor, it's called business. When the poor fight back, it's called violence. We are returning to the office because our culture is so important. The culture? Yeah. Soulless, lifeless boxes. Cool. I'm literally throwing up at work with a fever, pale as a ghost, and already passed out. Boss says I just don't want to work. As the title says, I'm sick. Have been all week. I'll get fired if I don't show up for my scheduled shifts, and my boss is actually going to try and force me to work more hours this week too, because I dared to take off a day for being sick as a dog. I have a fever, severe cough, and I already passed out once today. Not going great so far. Just threw up 2 almost in front of the patrons, and I can feel it coming back again. I told my boss I might need to leave so she can please find someone to cover for me. She just smacked her lips and gave me a sassy remark about how this generation won't work and always wants to leave and stay home, and apparently this is a habit for me now. Yikes. Big yikes. I like, these people are people too. They get sick. They understand. They get it. If they're sick, oh yeah, they can stay home all they want because they're the boss. They can do whatever. But if it's some younger person, then they're just faking it and they want to go home because they don't want to work. But no one wants to work. They just want to get paid more. We all like to get money, right? Would you look at that? Bernie Sanders to Howard Schultz. Have you ever threatened, coerced, or intimidated a worker for supporting a union? Schultz won't answer no. I've had conversations that could have been interpreted in a different way than I intended. So, yes. That's a yes then, right? We're all in agreement that's a yes. Protect our kids, like making sure they aren't hungry. Okay, let's have free school lunches then. Legalize child labor. What the f*** is going on? Managers didn't post schedule until 40 minutes before our scheduled shifts. Is the schedule going to be posted soon? I'm sorry, but I can't come in today. The schedule was posted just now, and I've already got my day going. Guys, I understand the schedule was just posted, but it's the same schedule for most of you who work Sundays. Please make sure to check and make it into work. Thank you. I want to hear your thoughts on this, in South Carolina if it matters. Buc-ee's, paid weekly, cashier, gift maintenance, warehouse, and grocery stocker, $18. Food service and car wash, $21. Team lead, $20 to $23. Department manager, $25 to $33. Full-time, 35 to 50 hours. No experience necessary. Assistant general manager, $100K. Car wash manager, $125K. Food service manager, $125 to $175K. General manager, $150 to $225K. 401K, 100% match up to 6%. 3 weeks paid time off. Use it. Cash it. Roll it. First year. Healthcare part-time available plus $2 an hour for overnight. What do you think of this? Good? Bad? Maybe both? Amazon CEO made $202.7 million in compensation in 2021, while the typical worker received $32,855. That's a ratio of 6,474 to 1. Now we learn that the company spent $14 million on anti-union consultants. Don't tell me that Amazon can't afford to let workers join a union. I've been reading a lot about how desperate employers are to get employees back in the office and how cities are desperate for a return to office because otherwise downtowns will die, and the problem is I have yet to read an explanation of why that is the workers' problem to fix. So we're just forcing feel-good stories now. 2 women at a Texas Denny's realized it was short-staffed, so they jumped in and started cooking. We just looked at each other and it wasn't even a question, we both knew what we had to do. Yeah, I wouldn't have started cooking for them for free. Hell no. I work for a company in California that does a lot of outreach in Spanish. Recently, bilingual employees pointed out that this results in them doing more work than their monolingual coworkers, and they requested additional bilingual pay. This was the reply-all response to HR's email denying that request. Hello, blank. Will this mean we will be outsourcing for any projects that need to be completed in Spanish? Best. Managers didn't communicate my day off for Easter, now I suffer for it. Why did you not coming to work? I told Shalia last week I couldn't work Sunday. I'm with my family for Easter. I'm sorry you didn't request off, so you will be documented. I 100% requested off. I told Shalia, I don't know, and submitted it in the next app after telling her. I'm sorry, telling her you can't work isn't requesting off. There is a scan code in the crew room. You scan and fill out and send it to me on a request off sheet, and you are not on there, so no, you didn't request off. I did the schedules this week and not Shalia, so you now have 2 write-up for not coming to work. During training, they told me to use the next app for requesting days off, but alright. Hot take, we should raise the minimum wage to $17.76 an hour, then rename it Patriot Pay. Force them to say they are against Patriot Pay. Wow, don't need a job that bad. Unreal. Governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, is now requiring applicants for positions in the state to write 500-word essays that detail what they admire from her leadership. This is not North Korea. This is not parody. Which word would you use to describe Sanders? Employer, you'll need to give us 1 month notice when you leave. Me, nah, you'll notice when I'm not there. Pretty remarkable that America temporarily constructed a safety net during COVID, including major health care coverage, food benefits, anti-poverty funding for families and kids, etc., and then they just systematically and slowly demolished it. $15 an hour is poverty, and I think we need to say that loudly because right now companies use it as a badge of honor. My boss sent me home early and clocked me out early, so I had to bust out the union contract that states I am to be paid for a full day regardless. Thank you for that, but on Friday 3/17, I only have 3 hours recorded. I understand you sent me home that day, but per section 22.6 of our contract, employees are to be paid for a full day if they are sent home. 22.6, any employee hired and not put to work shall be paid not less than a day or night's paid for the shift he was hired. Employees laid off after starting a day or night's work shall be paid not less than a day or night's pay. If an employee is employed after the regular starting time and is not ordered to work the following day, he shall be paid a full day's pay for the part day he worked. In an emergency beyond the control of the employees shall be paid for the number of hours worked on that particular shift.